Hello, my dear students. You all are aware that we use various sources for studying the history, like that of the archaeological sources or the written records. Historians often use the textual sources. Textual sources means books, okay, for studying about the past. So these textual sources tell us a lot about the society of the time, the society, the polity, the economy of the time. So students, today we are going to start our chapter number 3, that is kinship caste in class. And in this chapter, we are going to study about the time period between circa 600 BC, 6th century BC to circa 6th century CE. That is, we are going to study the history of the time period of 1000 years. For studying this time period, one of the important textual source is the Mahabharata. Historians considered have a common view regarding this textual source. Whatever it consists of, it can tell us so much about the society of the time period, of this time period, because it was composed around the same time period. So whatever is there in this text, that thing tell us a lot about the that time period, okay. And then we study this source critically also. So here now we start with Mahabharata. Students, it is one of the longest epic of the it is one of the longest epic, consists of around 1 lakh verses. Not around, it consists of over 1 lakh verses, and it was composed in around 1000 years, that is from about 500 BC, 5th century BC to about 6th century CE. Even some of the stories which are there in Mahabharata were composed even earlier. So students, now we are going to study all these things in detail, how Mahabharata tells us about various social norms of the time period. One more important thing, that is, students, various books were written also for laying at during that time period, for laying down the norms for the society. Norms means rules for the society, like the Dharma Shastras and the Dharma Sutra. They laid down the rules for the society. So it is for knowing about the rules and regulation of the society, or for knowing about the society of the time period, we can also study those sources. But when we study those sources, we came to know that the rules laid down in these books, in these texts, like the Dharma Shastra and the Dharma Sutras, were considered to be followed by most of the people. But there were also the occasions that the rules laid in these books were questioned, and even they were not followed. Like you will see in the chapter that in these Dharma Sutras, only one marriage was allowed, but in the elite class we saw that there was the polygamy also. So there are many other occasions. All these things we will study later in the chapter in detail, okay. Firstly, we start from one of the longest epic of the time, that was the Mahabharata. Okay, what I told you regarding this, it was one of the longest epic, and which consists of more than 1 lakh verses, and were composed over a time period of 1000 years. And some stories which were there in it were even composed earlier. So students, for studying this text, firstly, we deal with 3 topics of the chapter. Okay, firstly, we study the 3 topics of the chapter. First topic, sixth topic, and the seventh topic. And later on, we will study the chapter in detail. Okay, first topic of the chapter is critical editions of Mahabharata. Second is handling text, historians and the Mahabharata. And the third is a dynamic text. Students, firstly, we start from the critical editions of Mahabharata. Beta, the work of writing the critical edition of Mahabharata was started in the year 1919 by one of the Sanskrit scholar named V. Sukthankar. V. Sukthankar. He started this task of writing the critical edition. But a critical means doing the analysis and analyzing the facts which were given in it. Okay, so V. Sukthankar, along with his team of which consists of more than 12 of the scholars, he started the work of writing the critical edition of Mahabharata in the year 1919. And his team took up the time period of the 47 years to complete this task of writing the critical edition of the text. What they did in this? Firstly, they collected all the text of Mahabharata written in various languages, or whether if it is most of the texts of Mahabharata were written in Sanskrit language. They collected all those books, even if they are written in different Sanskrit, that is the script. Different Sanskrit script, they collected all those from all over the country, all over the continent, and after that they also collected the Mahabharata written in various languages like that of the Prakrit, Pali and the Tamil language. After collecting all the copies of it, then they started to compare, they start the work of the comparing these texts. And when they compared all these texts, they came to know that there were various things which were in common in all these Sanskrit texts which were written in various scripts. Okay, many things were sorry, many things were common in these. Another thing which they came to notice was that apart from that, many things were common. There were many variations in the content which was there in different languages also. So what they did, the things which they found common in most of the texts, they keep on writing all these, they publish all these, and in writing all these things, it took about 13,000 pages were written by in writing the critical edition of Mahabharata. And the variations which they found in these texts, those variations they keep on writing in the footnotes and in the form of the appendices. Okay, and after this they publish all these things. So students, what we studied in topic 1, we studied that the work of writing the critical edition of Mahabharata was started in the year 1919 by one of the Sanskrit scholar named V. Sukthankar along with his team of a dozen of members, and they completed this task in the time period of the 47 years. They collected the various copies of Mahabharata from all over the subcontinent, whether they were in Sanskrit, written in various script or in various languages. And they studied all those, and after studying those, they collected the things which they found common in all these, and they keep on publishing, writing all those things which they found common, and all those were published in around 13,000 pages. And the variation which they found in these texts, they keep on writing those in the form of the footnotes or the appendices. Okay, so this is all about the critical edition of Mahabharata. Now students, we are moving to another topic, that is the sixth topic of the chapter, handling text. Means when historians look at this religious text, how they handle this text. Okay, handling text, historians and the Mahabharata. it means that how historians studied it. What historians did for studying this, they firstly uh, started analyzing about the language. They took up certain things while doing their study, like they study about the language in which the various texts of the Mahabharata were written, which they collected. Okay. After that, they studied the content of it. Then they also tried to conclude the time period in which it was written. Time period. And after that, they tried to know about the author who had written it. Okay. So we are going to study all these things in detail. Firstly, historians tried to know whether the original text was written in which language. So they concluded that the original text was, because most of the text they found in normative Sanskrit, that is the simple Sanskrit language, not the complex one like that of the Vedas, Rig Ved, Yajurved, all this. Mahabharata is written in Sanskrit but in a simple Sanskrit language. Okay. So they came to the conclusion that the original text was written in the Sanskrit language. Okay. Remember that they found the copies even in the local languages like that of the Prakrit, Pali and the Tamil language. But they came to the conclusion that the original text was written in the normative Sanskrit language. Okay. Then they analyzed the content which was there in Mahabharata, and when they studied it in detail, they divide the content into the two parts, into the two sections, section 1 and the section 2. They said they divided it into two sections. Okay, section 1, according to them, it consists of the stories, because in Mahabharata there are some one part consists of the stories and another part is like the instructional parts, which is giving the instruction, in which the Arjun is given Lord Krishna was giving the instructions to Arjun. Okay, so section 1, in section 1 they said the stories are there, and they had given the name, the historians had given this section the name of the narrative section. Okay. And section 2 consists of the prescriptions about the social norms. It consists of the prescription about social norms. Social norms, beta, means the rules for the society, and they named this as this part as the didactic part. Didactic part. Okay. So historian divide the content of the text into two parts. One is the narrative part and another one is the didactic part. However, historians agreed that the Mahabharata, the texts do not have any kind of a watertight division between these. Sometimes the narrative part get mixed with the didactic part, while both parts get mixed up at some of the point in the text. Okay. Now, beta, we are going to the time period of going to study the time period when it was compiled. So it was basically compiled between the time period from the 6th century BC to the 5th century BC to the 5th century CE. Some of the stories were even compiled before that. But it was the time period when the Mahabharata means there were, you have studied in the previous chapter about the Janpadas. So it was the time period when the Janpadas were emerging, like the Kurus, Panchalas, all these. Okay. So some of the stories were orally transmitted from one person to another, and it was originally said by the suktas. Suktas, बेटा these suktas were the chariot bards, जो वो chariots को चलाया करते थे. When these people go for the war, they were known as the chariot bards. Chariot bards. Chariot bards को क्या कहते थे? Suktas. Okay. When they came back from the war, then they orally tell the stories related to the bravery of their men. So some stories were related to that part, while others were added to it later on also. But it was said that mainly the authorship of the text goes to the sage named Vyas. Okay. And this is about the authorship. Who had written the text? So mainly the author of the text was said to be the Rishi Ved Vyas. Okay. Thank you.